Good afternoon, all. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So in the last class, we were discussing about transmission terminology, right? So guided media, that is wired media, unguided media, wireless media, direct link, point to point, multi-point, what is simplex transmission, half duplex transmission, full duplex transmission. So we have seen about all these terms. Okay. Today we are going to see about again these concepts we have already discussed at the beginning of this chapter. I just want to review again. First, I'll complete this. Okay, what is analog signal? What is digital signal? So already we discussed this point. Analog signal, that is what continuous, and digital signal is what discrete signal. Okay, so there will be what time period. So analog is continuous and digital is what discrete or discontinuous. Okay, so that we have seen, and how these will be represented, that also we have seen. So periodic and aperiodic signals also we have seen. Periodic means what? The same pattern will be repeated, but aperiodic means that will not be repeated. Okay, so these terms we have already seen. Amplitude is what? The strength. Okay, peak amplitude is maximum strength of the signal. Frequency is the rate. Okay, so that is the signal when it is repeating in a period of time, so that will be what? Frequency. Okay, and what is period? So that is the amount of time taken for one repetition, so that is said to be what? Inverse of frequency. Okay, so phase is the relative position in the time within a single period of signal. So these all terminology we have already seen at the beginning of the chapter. Okay, and coming to analog signal, how the analog signal is represented. So we have seen this diagram also. And digital signal, so it is represented in the discrete format. Okay, so analog and digital signals. And coming to some additional terminology, wavelength. So what is the wavelength? It is the distance occupied by the signal cycle. So if you are taking any cycle, so how much of the distance it is occupying, so that is said to be what? Wavelength. Okay, so here if I am taking this particular diagram, so wavelength is what? One cycle is from here to here, how much of distance it is occupying, so that is said to be what? The wavelength. Okay, then spectrum. Spectrum is the range of frequencies. Okay, the range of frequencies is said to be spectrum. And bandwidth. So what is bandwidth? Absolute bandwidth of the signal is what? The width of the spectrum. So how much of the frequencies? What is the lower frequency to the higher frequency? The complete one. We are going to call it as what? Absolute bandwidth. Okay. And the band is referred to the effective bandwidth or just bandwidth. Okay. So this terminology already we know. And now coming to the topic, that is transmission impairments. Okay, so what do you mean by transmission impairments? That is where the transmission, the signals are differing. Okay, where the signals are differing. So here coming to transmission impairments, there are three main transmission impairments are there. Okay, one is attenuation, delay distortion, and noise. Okay, attenuation, delay distortion, and noise. So we have to remember these three. So transmission impairments are three. Those are attenuation, delay distortion, and noise. So what do you mean by attenuation? So attenuation is nothing but when a signal is transmitting some distance. Okay, over the distance, what happens? The strength of the signal will be fell down. Okay, so that is the strength of the signal falls off with the distance over any transmission media. Okay, so that is what, whenever the signal is traveling some distance, obviously its strength will be decreased. Okay, its strength will be fall down, so that is said to be what? Attenuation. Okay, so and coming to overcome the attenuation, I already told you the strength of the signal has to be increased. So how we are increasing? We are using what modulation techniques. Okay, then so for each some distance. Okay, and coming to transmission media from one media to another media. Okay, so this attenuation will be differed. Like if you are taking uh, different types of media, like guided media. In the guided media means wired media. In the wired media itself, we have different types of cables. Okay, like I have twisted pair cables, untwisted pair cables. Okay, like coaxial cables are there. Then we have what fiber optic cables are there. So in each type of cable, the attenuation will be varied. Okay, so depends upon the characteristics, okay, of that particular media what we are using, the attenuation will be varied, and depending upon that, how many number of repeaters we have to keep, how many number of how many times we need to perform this modulation. So this all will be dependent. Okay, so the attenuation, the characteristics is what the signal will be losing its strength when it is traveling some distance. Okay, so depends upon this attenuation also, we have different types of transmission media. Okay, and delay distortion, so that means what, when the signal is delayed, so it will be what, distorted. So based upon that also, we have what, different types of transmission media. And noise, how much of noise it is permitting. Okay, so what kinds of noise will be there? So we'll be having thermal noise, or it also called white noise, so that is because of heat. Okay, intermodulation noise, crosstalk, impulse noise. Okay, now first we'll see about thermal noise. Okay, thermal noise is thermal itself, the name itself, it is saying what, because of the heat. Okay, because of the heat, the thermal noise will be generated. Okay, so depends upon that also, we have what, different categories. So if I am using the copper cable, so one kind of thermal noise will be imposing. Okay, if I am going for unguided media, so other type of thermal noise will be imposing. So that is with the thermal noise is what, because of the heat generated. Okay, because of outside heat, it may be outside heat or room heat. So what is the temperature we are taking? Okay, so that also varying the capacity and the type of the cable. Okay, so this thermal noise is also called white noise. Okay, the thermal noise is also called white noise. Why it is also called white noise? Because it is uniformly distributed across the bandwidths. Okay, so the heat is what, uniformly distributed. So because of that, so thermal noise is uniformly distributed across the bandwidths, typically used in the communication systems, and hence it is often called as white noise. So generally you may be asked about like what is white noise. Okay, so white noise is nothing but the thermal noise. Okay, and how we are going to calculate the thermal noise is, so here we are going to use I forgot to keep that formula, so I'll tell you what is the formula. One second. Yeah, so here the thermal noise is represented with this particular formula. So where N naught is equals to K T1 W. Okay. So where K is used to represent what? 1 Kelvin. Okay. So K is what? The Kelvin. T is what? The temperature, and N naught is what? Noise power density. So that is what? How much of the thermal noise you are generating. And hertz is representing what? The W by hertz is what? Its representation. Okay, so here the thermal noise is what? How we are going to calculate? K into T. Okay, where K is what? 1 Kelvin, and T is what? What is the current temperature? Okay, so that is what the formula we are using for calculating the thermal noise. And coming to other noise we have what? We have intermodulation noise. Intermodulation noise is generally generated based upon what? Multiple signals are using the same transmission medium, then it will be called, that is what I am using what? Multiple signals, and they are using the same transmission media, so at the same time. So when multiple signals are transmitting, so they may be what? Overlapping. So if there is a overlap, the noise will arise. Noise is nothing but what? The distortion. Okay, so the signal will be changing, not to clear the data. So the data will be what? Modified. So modified in the sense that is noise in the data. So that is intermodulation noise is nothing but if multiple signals are using the same transmission media at the same time, so there may be chance of what? Overlapping. Okay, so this overlapping will cause the noise. So that is one more kind of noise. And coming to the next one, crosstalk. So this crosstalks you might have heard when you're on call. Okay, on the telephone, if you're speaking out, then there may be chance of what? Cross connection and some other conversation you can hear. So this type of thing we are going to call it as what? Crosstalk. So that is also one kind of noise. And coming to impulse noise. So impulse noise is what? Irregular pulse or noise spikes. Okay, so of short duration and of relatively high amplitude. So irregular pulses should be what? Regular, so that the data is what? Clear enough. If there is what? Irregular pulses, so then we are going to call it as what? Impulse noise. So it is generated from what? Variety of causes, including external electromagnetical disturbances, okay, such as lighting, faults, and flaws in the communication system. So like high temperature may be causing this impulse noise, or if the wiring is not proper. Okay, when you are using the cables, so the cable should be what? Properly connected. So if the wiring there is a problem, so then also there is a chance of what? Impulse noise. Okay, if the wiring is not proper, what happens? There will be what? Disturbance in the signal. So if the signal is disturbed, means it is noise. Okay, so that is, there is a chance of impulse noise. Okay, so there are four types of noises: thermal noise, intermodulation noise, crosstalk, and impulse noise. So first one, thermal noise, that is generated because of what? Temperature. Okay, heat. Second one, that is intermodulation noise, that is generated because of what? Multiple signals are sharing the same transmission media at the same time. Then coming to the crosstalks means while cross connection, unwanted coupling is done. Okay, so when unwanted coupling is done, then there is a chance of what? Crosstalk. Then impulse noise because of what? External electromagnetic disturbances, like what? Lightning, or there may be chance of what? Faulty communication systems, flaws in the communication systems. These may cause impulse noise. Okay, so that is about the noise. And now the important concept is transmission medium. Okay, what are the different transmission medium we are using? So we can have guided media and unguided media. I already told you. Okay, so transmission media is nothing but the physical path, so where the actually the signal will transmit. So we can have guided transmission media, unguided transmission media. Guided transmission media means what? There is a guidance. Okay, so that is wired one. So when the wired one is what? That is showing the path. So when, how the wire is moving, where the wire is connected, in which direction it is going, so that will be guided. Okay, so that's why the wired media is also called guided media. Unguided media is what? Wireless one. Okay, so we have these two types of medium, and these mediums are, the transmission medium is determined. Okay, the design factors. What are the design factors of this transmission media? That means based upon what we are going to design the different transmission mediums. So these are depending on bandwidth, transmission impairments, interference, and number of receivers. So bandwidth, we already saw. Okay, transmission impairments. What are the transmission impairments? There are three: attenuation, delay, and noise. Okay, and interference, external interferences, a number of receivers. How many number of receivers are there? Depends upon also the transmission medium will vary. Okay, so whether we have a single point to point connection, or we need to go for multi-point connections, or we need to go for wireless one. So how many number of receivers are there depends on that. Also we have the difference in the transmission medium. Okay, now coming to the guided transmission media. So guided transmission media or wired media, so where we are going to use the cables. So what are the characteristics of the cables? So what are the main characteristics of the cables? So here we have three main characteristics. One is conductor, second one is insulation material, and third one is outer jacket. Okay, so you might have seen the cables. Okay, so in that cables you may observe there will be what, one uh, wire inside the cable. Okay, so that will be what, of orange color or red color. So that is said to be what, conductor. Okay, so that is mainly which is going to transmit the signal. So that is what, conductor. So this conductor can be designed, can be manufactured by using either the copper or glass fiber or plastic fiber, so which is actually carrying the signal. Okay, so if you are using this conductor material, so when you are seeing the cable, so that is not only consisting of the inside conductor, but it also consists of what, insulating material. So this insulation material, what it is doing, it is going to avoid the electrical interference. Okay, so that is when you are going for, and also it is used to avoid the electrical signal to escape, because as we are transmitting the electrical signal on that particular cable, either the copper cable or glass fiber cable, okay, there is a chance of what, the signal may distort and escape from that conductor. Okay, so to avoid that one, so that will be covered with what, some plastic material. Okay, you might have observed, I'll show you the pictures also. So that will be covered with the plastic material. So that is said to be what, insulation material. So it is used to avoid the signal escape. Okay, then coming to the last one, that is outer jacket. Outer jacket, so the cable will be covered with the outer black color coating, right? So protecting cover. So that is said to be what, outer jacket or sheath. So any guided media will be mainly consisting of these three: conductor, insulation material, and outer jacket. Okay, now coming to the types of this guided media. So you can have mainly four. So generally this, the first one we are not going to consider in terms of the transmission from one system to another system automatically. Why? Because it is a manual transmission. So you can store in the magnetic tapes and transmit. That means you can store in the magnetic tapes and carry that magnetic tape and take to the other system, and there you can copy. So that is what, it is not the actual transmission media. But coming to the remaining three, twisted pair cable, so these will be coming under the cables. So on the cables you are transmitting the signals. So these will be what, mainly termed as the guided transmission media. So that's why it is said to be what, guided transmission media. And in that one we have three types: twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cables. Okay, so this is very important. twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, and fiber optic cables. So the first one is twisted pair cable. So you might have observed, so there are what two cables. Okay, so those two cables, inside that one you will be having the copper cable, and that will be covered with the plastic coating insulation material, and these two pairs of cables are twisted together in the helical form. So you can see the form how those are twisted, right? So those are twisted in this manner, and that will be covered in a outer sheet. So that is said to be what? Twisted cable. Okay, twisted pair cable. So that means pair means two. Okay, we are twisting two cables, and that we are covering to generate what? The twisted pair cable. So why we are twisting these means in the opposite directions when the current is flowing, so that will be what? Cancelling each other. Opposite induced currents will be cancelling each other. So that's why the signal transmission will be what? Proper. So for that we are using what? Twisted pair cable. So how much of thick it is? It will be of what? 1 millimeter thick. Okay, so each one will be of what? 1 millimeter thick, and those will be what? Twisted together, and that will be covered with the outer sheet. In this twisted pair cable, where we are going to use, the main application is what? In the telephone systems, and it can run several kilometers without amplification. That means for longer distances you need these twisted cables. Okay, and it can be used for digital as well as analog signals. Okay, so both we can use, and also these are less expensive. So telephone cables are what? Twisted pair cables we are using, and those telephone cables, we do not require the amplification very repeatedly. Okay, we need it can travel what? Longer distances. The signal can travel longer distances. For that we are going for what? This twisted pair cables. Okay, and in the twisted pair cables also we have again two categories, UTP and STP. UTP is what? Unshielded twisted pair cable, and STP is shielded twisted pair cable. That is an additional shielding we are going to use. So that you can see here. So how this unshielded twisted pair cable will be. So these type of cables you might have observed in the reality. Okay, so this is what the copper cable we are using. On that one, the insulating material. So that is the plastic coating you can see, and on that one, outer jacket. Okay, and we are not using the additional shielding. So if you are using additional shielding, that will be what? More protective. Okay, additional shield, why we are using? We need to protect the inside signal from the outside interferences. So for that purpose we go forward this unshielded twisted pair cable. Okay, so, for protecting we go for what? Shielded one. So if there is no inside shield, so it is said to be what? Unshielded. So you can see here, so there will be what? Number of categories. So these categories will be depending upon how much distance, how much of length we are going to twist. So you can see the difference clearly in this one. Now you can see this is what? A category 3, and this is what? Category 5 cable. Okay, so category 3, the twisting. So the longer twisting is there. So the cable is twisted very longer. But if you go for uh, category 5, so here the twisting will be what? Very nearby. So you can observe the difference clearly. You can observe the difference clearly here. So the longer distance twisting is there. Here the shorter distance we are twisting. Okay, so that means near by near we are twisting. So this type of thing is what? Category 5. So the categories will be differing based upon how the twisting is there and how many number of pairs of cables we are using. Okay, so those categories are what? Here we have, see, category 1, category 2, category 3. CAT means category 4, 5, 5E, 6, 6A, and 7. So various testing categories are there, and depends upon the categories how much of distance the signal can transmit. And what is the data rate? So you can have what the data rate is up to 1 Mbps in the category 1, but when you go for category 7 you can have what up to 10 Gbps. So how these are differing? These are differing with what, how much of the twisting, how much nearby the twisting is there. So if you have more nearby twisting means, and more number of cables if you are using, more number of twisted pairs if you are using, then more data transmission you can do and more efficiently it can transmit. So that is why, so these different categories you have. Okay, so that is about what twisted pair cables. And in the twisted pair cables itself we can have what one more thing, that is shielded twisted pair cable. So you can see here, so this is what twisted pair cables, and other than the outer jacket you have what inside shielding. Okay, you may have braided shield or foil shield. Foil shield means you can have aluminum foil kind of paper kind of thing will be there, so that will be shielding each pair. Okay, each pair of the cables will be shielded with the foil shield. Okay, and then that can be shielded with the braided shield, that will be just like a mesh. Okay, and that will be covered with the outer jacket. So why we go for this shielding? So for protecting the inside cables. So it, like if you have any fire accidents or what, like those type of things, if you are going for unshielded one, the wire can be easily burnt. Okay, but if you go for shielded one, so you can protect the cables from the external uh, effects like fire accidents also, these cables can survive. Okay, so this is what I told you. And also STP cables can be used in the outdoor settings. Okay, where we have outdoor means what temperature will be more. So for the uh, temperature, to protect from the temperature, that is thermal noise, we can go for STP cables. Okay, and here these cables, STP cables, are generally used in the internet cables and the telephone cables. Okay, so that is what STP. So you can see the difference in UTP and STP here. So this is UTP where we don't have shielding, unshielded twisted pair cables. So these cables are twisted, but there is no shield. But if you go for shielded twisted pair cables, you have what aluminum foil, okay, and then braided shield. So just like a mesh. So these are what two twisted pair cables. And now coming to this is what the advantage I already told you. And then coming to the copper cables. Okay, so the second one is what coaxial cables, and here coaxial cables is better than the twisted pair cables. And here these are mainly used, coaxial cables are mainly used for analog transmissions and cable televisions. So whenever you might have observed the cable TV connections, the cable operators might have fitting at your home that cable connection. You can see the wire. So how the wire will be, I'll show you the wire directly how it is. See, this kind of wire you might have observed. So you will be having one center conductor, that will be what a thick wire. Okay, when you go for twisted pair cables, there will be what thin wires you will be having. Okay, thin copper cables you will be having. But coming to coaxial cables, you will be having what the thick conductor inside. Okay, thick cable, and there will be only one. Okay, twisted pair cables you will be twisting two pairs. Okay, so two wires you are twisting together and putting in the cover. Okay, but coming to this coaxial cable, one single line, okay, conductor will be there, that will be covered with the dielectric material, and that will be covered with the foil shield, and that is again covered with the braided shield, and you'll be having the outer jacket. Outer jacket is what the cable is covered with the outer sheet. Okay, and you will be having what braided sheet and foil sheet to protect. Okay, and dielectric material, so that is also there to protect the signal to escape. Okay, so previously insulating material we are using in the twisted pair cable, the two cables, the thin cables we are using. Okay, so those thin cables we are twisting together, but here there will be what, one single copper cable, and that will be what, thick cable. Okay, so coaxial cable is used, the thick cable, and the dielectric material on that one, foil shield and braided shield. Okay, and that is covered in the outer jacket. So this type of cables we are using in the coaxial cables. And where we are using this type of cables, in the cable televisions. So that is what coaxial cables. Twisted pair cables we use in the telephone systems. Okay, coaxial cables we use in what, the cable TV connections. Okay, the signals will be transmitted over this coaxial cable. So this is what second category. And coming to the third one, so when you go for twisted pair cable and coaxial cable, so you are using the copper conductor inside. Okay, so this material, so inside the cable is what, copper conductor, so which is carrying the signal. But coming to optical, the fiber optics, so fiber optics are using the light waves, that is optical waves for transmission. Okay, so where the previous two coaxial and twisted pair cables use the electrical signals, here we are using what, light waves, optical waves for transmission. Okay, so for transmission we require these three. Okay, light source, that is what, to generate from, for the data, the light source has to be there to generate the optical signal. Okay, so for that we require what, LED light source. Okay, transmission media, so that transmission medium is what, to carry the light. For carrying the light you can use either the glass fiber or plastic fiber. Okay, and when this generated signal is traveling, and when it is going at the destination, so it has to be converted back into what, the data. So for that, to identify the data in the light wave, so we are also needing this detector. Okay, so this detector, what it does, it generates the electrical pulse when the light falls on it. Okay, so based upon the electric pulse only, we are going to detect what is the data. So the electrical, whatever the generated data is there, so from the data, electrical pulse, we are generating the light, and the light will be transmitting over the fiber, glass fiber, and it will be transmitted. At the receiver, it has to be detected and converted back into electrical pulse, from the electrical pulse to actual data. Okay, so there are 3 more minutes. Please post your attendance in the chat box. Okay, and I'll be continuing. So these are what, three things we require in the fiber optics cables. Okay, so how the fiber optic cables will be there? So this fiber optic cables will be consisting of core, then cladding. So this is what the actual core where the light will transmit, so that will be covered with the cladding. And then you'll be having coating. Okay, strength material, strength member or material, and you will be having outer jacket. This outer jacket is what, simple enough. And coming to this strength member, okay, so we are using the Kelvar material for providing the strength. So this Kelvar material is just like the material which is used to manufacture the helmets, like kind of thing. Okay, so why that will be what, more stronger, so that the light signal can be traveled properly. Okay, so these fiber optic cables are used for what, faster data transmission. So you might have observed, nowadays you may be having what, beam fiber, act fiber. We are saying about what the internet, high data transmission, high data rate transmission, internet is provided through what, fiber optics. So olden days we have used twisted pair cables for the internet transmission. Okay, internet connections we are using twisted pair cables, but for high data rates, So if the light is used, because light will travel very faster, okay, so if you are using light for transmission of the signals, you will be getting what? High data rates. So for providing the high data rates, so this type of fiber optic cables are used, okay, and where the inside core material is what? Glass or fiber, okay. So that is what the fiber optic cables. And in the fiber optic cables you have two types: single mode and multi-mode. Single mode means the inside core will be very thick and only one single signal will be transmitted. So this will be what? Very fast. And multi-mode means you'll be having the inside core will be somewhat bigger and multiple signals will be transmitted, but this multiple signals will be what? Distorting, the noise will be more, okay. So single mode will be more faster, right? And then, so this is what the advantage: longer distance. So you, that signal can be transmitted with higher frequency, longer distances it can transmit, and it is having low attenuation than coaxial and fiber optic cables, okay. So low attenuation means what? More strength, okay, it is traveling longer distances, so more than the twisted pair cables. So that is what the thing, okay. And you have this we have only 1 minute of time, so wireless transmission we'll be discussing in the next class, okay. Thank you. So if anybody is not posting the attendance, please post in the chat box, and if you have any doubts regarding the uh, current class, you can ask or you can ping me, okay. Please post the attendance and you can leave the class.